What's up, everybody? This is your boy Uber Hikari, aka the Nerd Nigga, here to bring you another video with no frills, just the analysis. Wow. Wow. This is the wow face. This is the wow. See this face? This is the wow face. Naruto chapter 589. First of all, this is not a review. This is just gonna be a clarification of some things that I've been seeing over the last, I don't know, couple of chapters. More wax sauce from Kishimoto. More wax sauce. Just, I mean, he must just have, where does he store all of this wax sauce? I mean, he must just pour it on the pages when he draws the manga. Because this is just wax sauce. More wax sauce. How could they even have let him write this? Editor should have been like, oh no, Kishimoto, you gotta take this shit back. You take a rag, wipe some of that wax sauce off the pages, Kishimoto. You gotta take that back. Wow. But what have we learned from this bad writing? Yes. What did we learn from this bad writing by Kishimoto? Alright. We learned basically three things. What did we learn about anime fights? We learned that epic battles do not equal good fights. And this is something that people have been confused about for a very long time in this anime community. They keep trying to, make it seem as if epic battles and good fights are somehow interchangeable or synonymous. They are not. Naruto's incomplete Biju mode, epic. 2 thumbs up, epic. Madara's perfect Susanoo in this chapter, epic. 2 thumbs up, looked great. Looked awesome. Design's awesome. Epic shit. But, and this is a very big but, and it's especially true for Madara, the fights lacked quality. Just because epic shit happens in a battle doesn't mean the fight is good. What is a fight? What is an anime fight in particular? A fight is supposed to be the means by which an author explores deeper ideological conflicts in the plot, the narrative, or the story. That's what a fight is supposed to be. That's what a good fight does. The fights are supposed to be the, what do you want to call it? The intermediary between the viewer and the reader and some theme, message, etc. of the narrative. That's what a fight is supposed to be, ladies and gentlemen. It's a means to a narrative end. A fight is never an end in itself. It's just a tool that the author uses to explore something else. It's not an end in itself. And none of these fights that have gone on in this arc, this supposedly, fourth Shinobi World War arc, none of these fights have had a deeper ideological significance. None of them. They were either 1, cannon fodder fights, or 2, they were narratively insignificant. Which is precisely what happens with both Madara and Kabuto. Look at the Kabuto fight. What was the big reveal of the Kabuto fight? What did Itachi say? Kabuto has to learn to be himself. Oh, what? We get to what? We get to the climax of one of the most important fights in the manga, and the big reveal is Kabuto has to learn to be himself. Wow. Can anybody say cliche? Really? And oh my goodness, and nothing was worse than having that random ninja show up in one of the chapters. I'm still waiting for my brother Kabuto to come home. Who is we cut to a scene of a random ninja on the battlefield. I'm waiting for my brother Kabuto to come home. Really? And this brings up another point, sort of a tangent. But this brought up another point. Remember, I don't know, maybe it was like 15, 20 chapters ago where Dan randomly showed up in one of the chapters, and I was like, why did Dan show up? And then people jumped all over me. Well, I think it's foreshadowing. Maybe Dan has some importance. Like, no, it doesn't seem like it. I mean, he just randomly shows up in one of the chapters, and just like Dan randomly showed up in a chapter, some random ninja showed up in a Kabuto Itachi chapter, just like, I'm waiting for my brother Kabuto to come home. What do we learn about the Madara fight? Now, Madara, oh my goodness, this is just terrible. Madara was supposed to be the top dog, the head honcho, the bad mother shut your mouth. On some shaft type. I mean, when I was reading the Madara chapters, I expected to hear the Shaft theme music. I mean, he was supposed to be the big bad, the top dog. And he couldn't even kill a Kage? Not one? he couldn't kill a character whose only claim to fame was making motivational speeches? Anoki? He couldn't kill him? The man who got hit with not one but two meteorites? He couldn't even kill him? And talk about a cliche antagonist. Oh, goodness gracious. Why was Madara dicking around? Can somebody explain this to me? Why was he dicking around? And people jumped all over me again when I said this. Well, nobody cares if you don't think this is a good fight. Well, you do realize that Madara is just playing around with the Kages, right? I mean, this isn't his true power. Really? This is the man who fought Hashirama Senju? The supposed mastermind behind all of Toby's machinations? And he doesn't have more important things to do than dick around with some people he could crush like ants if he wanted to. Really? Seriously? We get no explanation for the relationship between Toby and Madara, no character development for Madara, no insight into his plans or schemes. He had no narrative significance. None. None. And now look, the Edo Tensei's been released. No more Edo Tensei. Madara's gone now. At least that's what we're led to believe, given what's happening in this chapter. And let me just say this now as a speculation or a thought or a prediction or whatever. The only way Madara could not be gone is if Kishimoto pulls a Deux Ex Machina. Some contrived narrative plot device, because that's the only way he gets out of this. The only way he could explain Madara not being released from the Edo Tensei. That's the only way. So Madara has had no significance. None. No narrative significance. Not even this much. Now let's talk about pacing. And pacing is one of the most important but underappreciated aspects of writing. Pacing is like a razor's edge. It's the difference between suspense and boredom. It's the difference between saying, wow, this is great character development, but boy, could the author speed up the plot a little bit? Pacing is what allows you to have balance between character development and plot progression. But not just balance, but timing. Timing is key in terms of pacing. What happened with those Kabuto flashbacks? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why did they just show up randomly like that? Those flashbacks completely interrupted the flow of the narrative. Completely. And my thoughts on the war, on this whole Four Shinobi World War, can be summed up with one question. Just one simple question. How can you have a war where the only people who died were people who were already dead? I mean, how does he get away with this? How did the editors let him get away with this? Yeah, it's okay, Kishimoto. You can have a war, and the only people who can die were supposedly the, how many? 30, 40,000 people who died on the first day? Nameless cannon fodder, whatever. But the only real people who died in this war were people who were already dead. Wow. Big thumbs on that one, Kishimoto. Big thumbs up on that one. So, this was your boy, Uber Hikari. aka the nerd nigga, just brought you another video with no frills, just the analysis. Whole lot of wax sauce in this one, Kishimoto. A whole lot of wax sauce.